Hello, Algebra 1. I am displaying the answers to number 3 and 4 that I asked you to do for me. And I'm going to give you a moment just to look at them and see how you did. I'm not going to actually graph them for you this time. So hopefully running your graphing calculator has been a little bit easier than some of you might have thought. It's just pushing buttons. You just have to know which buttons to push. So we may practice some more of this down the road, but for now, we're going to move on to something else. Okay, today I am going to do some discoveries with my graphing calculator. And I decided to use this graphing calculator instead of the one on the computer. I thought it might be just a little faster. Okay, so first, this equation, y equals x squared. Sometimes it will say f of x equals x squared. This is our quadratic parent function. Let me show you what he looks like. He is a parabola that opens upward. His vertex is down here at 0, 0. Its axis of symmetry would be x equals 0. This is what your quadratic parent looks like. And this is what his equation looks like. Y equals x squared, or f of x equals x squared, because y and f of x, they mean the same thing. So this is our most basic parabola that we have. And today we're going to discover what would make this parabola move to the right, move to the left, go up, go down, become wider, become skinnier. So that's what today we're going to be doing. All right, so this first equation that I want to look at has a plus 4 in the very back. So I want to know how that's going to transform the parent function. So let's see. So here's my parent, and the plus 4, it looks like it took the vertex and it shifted it up 4. So when it was a plus in the back, the vertex went up 4. Okay, let's look at the next one. The next one has a minus 6 in the back. What do you think that's going to do? Well, let's see. Here's our parent, and the minus 6 made the vertex go down 6. Okay, so plus 4 in the back makes it go up 4, minus 6 in the back makes it go down 6. All right, let's look at something different. What about a plus 4 in parentheses with the squared on the outside? So plus 4 in the parentheses. Let's see what that does. Interesting, the vertex went left 4. So when it's in the parentheses, it does opposite of what you would think. So a plus in the parentheses makes it go left. Okay, let's look at the next one. What do you think a minus 6 in the parentheses would do? Let's see. Here's the parent, and it went right 6. So it was a minus 6 in the parentheses, and the vertex shifted right 6. Okay, so let's talk about everything we've discovered so far. The plus in the back makes it go up. The minus in the back makes it go down. The plus in the parentheses makes it go left. The minus in the parentheses makes it go right. So what do you think this is going to do? We're going to have two different things happen. What do you think the plus 2 inside is going to do and the minus 7 on the outside is going to do? So plus 2 inside should make it go left. Minus 7 in the back should make it go down. So let's see if it goes left 2, down 7. Here's the parent. Oops, I forgot to tell it to graph. Silly me. Okay, let's see if it goes left 2, down 7. And sure enough, our vertex went left 2 and down 7. And there's the new vertex. Okay. So what do you think this one's going to make it do? Right 5, up 2. Well, let's see. Here's your parent. And the vertex went to the right 5 and up 2. Okay, so hopefully you're catching on here. So in the parentheses, it's left or right. Plus is left, minus is right. So parentheses is opposite of your natural thought. So plus in the parentheses is left, minus in the parentheses is right. The number in the back, though, does what you would think. Minus made it go down, plus made it go up. Now, this one, all I did was I stuck a negative in front. So let's see what a negative in front does. So here's your parent, and here's what the negative. Ah, it flips it. This is a reflection of the parent over the x-axis because it flipped it over the x-axis. So if you ever see a negative in the front, you're going to call that a reflection over the x-axis, or say it reflects over the x-axis. Okay, now let's see what happens when we have a number in front of the x squared. So when we have our normal parent function, let's look back at that one. What's in front of that x squared that you don't see? What number is in front of it? There's a 1 in front of it. Okay, so now I'm looking at an equation where there is a 4 in front of it. So instead of a 1 in front, it's a 4 in front. So let's see what happens when we have a 4 in front. So here's the parent with the 1 in front. Oh, actually I didn't graph my parent. Pooh. Okay, let's try it again. So this one is my parent when the 1 was in front, and this is when the 4's in front. Okay, let's just keep those both on. And let's look at the last one I put in here for us. The last one has a 9 in front. So let's look at what happens when it has a 9 in front. Ah, so the bigger the number in front, the skinnier the graph. And we say in Algebra 1, the more vertically stretched the graph. So as the number in front gets bigger, the graph gets skinnier, which we call getting vertically stretched. Okay, let's look at what happens as the number in front gets smaller. So here there's a 1 in front, then a 1/2, then a 1/4, and then a 1/16. So the numbers are getting smaller in front every time. Okay, so here's the 1, here's the 1/2, here's the 1/4, and here's the 1/16. What happened to the graph as those numbers in front got smaller? The graph got wider and wider and wider. And in Algebra 1, we call that a compression. It was getting vertically compressed. Okay, so as the numbers get smaller in front, the graph gets wider or more compressed. And as the numbers get bigger in front, the graph gets skinnier or more stretched. And then I only have one other thing that I wanted to show you on this. So this one I stuck a negative in front of the 1/16. So I want to see how the 1/16 compares to the negative 1/16. So here's my negative 1/16 in front. So here's the positive 1/16 and here's the negative 1/16. So hopefully you're noticing that the width of this one is the same as the width of this one. So the only thing the negative does is it takes the 1/16 graph and it flipped it over the x-axis. So that little negative in the very front, all it does is it reflects it over the x-axis. Okay, so that's our little discovery lesson with the calculator. Now I've got these notes on the Canvas calendar, so if you wanted to look at them, you could. So I'm just going to go over what we just discovered. A plus in the back makes the graph shift up however many units. A minus in the back makes the graph go down that many units. A plus inside the parentheses makes the graph go to the left.
Mommy,
Just a minute, baby.
it's on my puppy.
A minus inside makes the graph go right. Now these are the two that are going to be weird for your brain to wrap around. So
Mommy?
a plus inside
Mommy,
makes the graph go
Mommy?
left. Just a minute, sweetie.
Mommy,
A minus inside
Mommy?
makes the graph go
Mommy?
to the right. Okay, and then we saw that a negative in the very front reflects across the x-axis. And then the other things we saw is that the number in front, as it gets bigger and bigger, as it gets bigger than 1, it vertically stretches. And the number in front, as it gets smaller and smaller, it vertically compresses. So the smaller and smaller the number, the wider the graph or more vertically compressed. The bigger the number in front, the skinnier the graph or the more vertically stretched. So these are all the rules that we just discovered with the graphing calculator. Okay, so what I would like to see you do is tell me what's going to happen to these according to everything we just saw. Is it going to make it go left or right, up or down, left or right, up or down, left or right, up or down, left or right, up or down? I don't have any stretches or compressions or reflections in this. So what you need to do is you need to decide if the -3 is going to make it go right 3, left 3, up 3, down 3. And if the +5 is going to make it go left 3, down 3, left 5, right 5, up 5, or down 5. Okay, so that's what you're going to be doing. And I want you to take a picture of your work. And then I want you to put it in the Canvas calendar. And we'll see how you did. So take a picture and post into Canvas. And that's all for today. Smiley face.